Jai Guru Maharaj. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for joining today. We'd like to seek the blessings and kind mercy of Shri Radha Madhav, Radha Shyam Sundar, Krishna Balaram, Gauritai, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled Vaishnavas, so that we can continue with 11th Canto. I think we are on the 21st. I think we're in the 20th chapter, actually. Sorry, let me just find it. Yeah. Is that right? Yes, 20th chapter. So this is a nice verse from the 20th chapter. They're all nice verses, but some of them are very inspirational indeed. And this is one of them as well. So na kinchit shadvo dhira bhaktahya ekantino mama vanchantiyapi mayadatam kaivalyam apunar bhavam. Because my devotees possess saintly behavior and deep intelligence, they completely dedicate themselves to me and do not desire anything besides me. Indeed, even if I offer them liberation from birth and death, they do not accept it. This is why the devotees conquer the Lord, because they serve him and he wants to serve them, but they won't allow him to serve them. The devotees just will say, no, I'm going to serve you. The Lord will say, I'd like to do something for you. And the devotees will say, no, I just want to do something for you. You can't do anything for me. You already do so much. So I want to serve you. So in this way, there's a competition between the Lord and the devotees. And the devotees invariably win this competition because they just want to serve. They just want to love the Lord. And that love is so overpowering, even overpowers the Lord. So this is the inconceivable nature of the Lord and the love of the Lord. So we'll come to this verse in a minute. So devotional service surpasses knowledge and detachment. The processes of karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhakti yoga are explained in this chapter in terms of the presence of different good and bad qualities in particular candidates. So Uddhava inquires, the Vedic Shastras are the words expressing the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In these Vedic literatures is found an outlook of duality, good and bad, auspicious, inauspicious, cold and heat, based on such concepts as varnashram system, so pious and impious activities. And at the same time, the Vedas rejects this dualistic vision, because the Vedas says that we should be neutral, completely neutral. The soul is should neither be looking at good or bad qualities. My dear Lord, so Uddhavas, the distinction observed between piety and sin comes from your own Vedic knowledge and does not arise by itself. If the same Vedic literature subsequently nullifies such distinction between piety and sin, there will certainly be confusion. Uddhav, desiring to understand the reason why the scriptures contain such conflicting ideas and how these might be reconciled, inquired from Lord Krishna about this subject. So Krishna replies. In response, the Supreme Lord replied that because he desired that human beings may achieve perfection, he has presented three paths of advancement. And basically, these paths of advancement address the issue of this concept of duality and how to overcome the process of duality. So he presented three paths of advancement: the path of knowledge, path of work, path of devotion. And besides these three, there are absolutely no other means of elevation. So what are these three paths? Karma yoga is designated for those who are not detached and are full of gross desires. So they can do a lot of work. They can fulfill their desires. But karma yoga means they should not be attached to the fruits of their labor. Jnana Yoga is for those who are detached from the fruits of activity and have given up material endeavors. And Bhakti Yoga is for those who have taken to the principle of Yukta Vairagya, appropriate renunciation. Vairagya is renunciation. Yukta Vairagya is, we actually try to use everything in the service of Krishna. So we don't renounce anything. We accept it for the blessing, for the service of the Lord. Devotion can be achieved in the human form of life. So as long as one is interested in enjoying the fruits of one's work, or as long as one's faith in the topics of discussion of the Supreme Lord on the path of bhakti has not awakened, then one must continue to fulfill all the prescribed duties of his karma. So you've got the body, you have to act according to the body, according to the duties pertaining to our nature. But neither the renunciate nor the devotee of the Lord need carry out ritualistic duties. They don't have to do it because they're already committed to the Supreme. They're beyond. They don't have to fulfill any duties. Persons who follow their own duty, who abandon that which is forbidden, and who are free from greed and other unhealthy characteristics, attain either monistic knowledge or else, if they're fortunate, devotion to the Supreme Lord. So this monistic knowledge is that one, God is one, and I am one with God. I am God, which is very dangerous philosophy. Such knowledge and devotion can be achieved in the human form of life. So this is the point. We are very lucky. We have this human form of life. We can begin our path of bhakti in this human form of life, which is therefore a desirable object, both for the living, those living in hell, and for the demigods. So demigods also want to come to this world as humans to perfect themselves, to become God conscious. Thus, a human being who is wise should never desire promotion to the heavenly planets, nor desire permanent residence on the earth. So we don't want to go to heaven. Why would you want to go to heaven? Knowing that one's duration of life is reduced by the passing of days and nights, one should be shaken by fear. In this way, giving up all material attachment and desire, and try to understand the Supreme Lord, achieving perfect peace. This human body is like a boat, and Gurudev is the helm. And the mercy of the Supreme Lord is the favorable breeze. If the person who has attained such a rare boat in the form of human body does not desire to cross over the ocean of material existence, he is in fact the killer of the soul. Of course, the soul can't be killed, but if the soul is put in such a situation where it is so, it gets degraded bodies where it doesn't even feel its consciousness, effectively the soul has been killed. This is the point. So we are so lucky we've got this human form of life. And we've also got a wonderful spiritual master. And the mercy of the Supreme Lord is with us. So we should definitely make the very, very most of this, these great gifts. The mind is, however, fickle. One should not indifferently allow it to act. Yes, Riansh, you have a question? Okay. Allow it to act as it wills. Rather, one should conquer the senses and the vital air, and by intelligence endowed with the qualities of goodness, should bring the mind under control. So here we go again, this mind to be controlled. An expert horseman desiring to tame a headstrong horse first lets the horse have his way for a moment, and then he pulls the reins, gradually placing the horse on the desired path. Similarly, the supreme yoga process is that by which one carefully observes the movements and desires of the mind and gradually brings them under full control. One who has a sense of detachment and renunciation can give up false identification with the body and other sense objects by constantly studying the instructions of his spiritual master, by the yoga practice of yama, niyama, etc., focusing on the Lord. So this is possible. We can control our mind. We have to try. If, because of some momentary inattention, a yogi accidentally commits an abominable activity, then by the very practice of yoga or bhakti, he should burn to ashes the sinful reactions. My devotee, Krishna says, who sincerely desiring to give up sense gratification, knowing that it leads to misery, but still unable to renounce all sense enjoyment. After all, we've been in this world a long time, and to just suddenly give up all our bad habits may not be so easy, right? But that devotee should remain happy and worship me with great faith and conviction. He shouldn't get disheartened. Oh, I made another mistake. No, because we're under the shelter of the Supreme. He knows our position. He knows how weak we are. Even though he is sometimes engaged in sense enjoyment, my devotee knows that all sense gratification leads to miserable result, and he sincerely repents such activities. Anyone who renders service to the Supreme Lord by constant devotional service will be able to steadily fix his mind upon the Supreme Lord. And thus all desires for sense gratification sitting within the heart will be destroyed to the root. This is the point, sense enjoyment sometimes comes, sometimes goes. Because it hasn't been destroyed at the root, sometimes we fall foul of enjoying with the senses. But the devotee who is earnestly trying to fix his mind on the Supreme Lord, he will be able to destroy within his heart the root cause of the propensity to enjoy. This is the point, very important point. Now, when one directly perceives the presence of the Supreme Lord, his false ego becomes completely eradicated. All of his doubts are shattered, and heaps of material activities become diminished to nil. For this reason, the devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead do not consider knowledge and renunciation to be the means for achieving the highest benefit. So Gyan and Vairagya help to a certain degree, but bhakti is what is the most important thing. It's good to have knowledge, it's good to be renounced, but if there's no bhakti, then we've missed the point. On the other side, if we have no knowledge and also we are attached, but we have some bhakti, that is more valuable. Bhakti is so powerful. It will eventually lead to knowledge and renunciation automatically. Everything that can be achieved by fruitive activities, penance, knowledge, detachment, mystic yoga, charity, religious duties, other means of perfecting life is easily achieved by the devotee through loving service unto the Lord. Bhakti. Bhakti surpasses anything. Even 1% of bhakti is more than all of these things put together, because bhakti is so powerful. So powerful. If somehow a devotee desires promotion to heaven, liberation, or residence in the Lord's abode, he easily achieves such a benediction. So if a devotee wants, the Lord will fulfill the desires. But because the Lord's devotees possess saintly behavior and deep intelligence, they completely dedicate themselves to him, do not desire anything besides the Lord. Indeed, if they are offered liberation from birth and death, they do not accept it. Complete detachment is said to be the highest stage of freedom for one who has no personal desire, no pursues personal rewards, can achieve loving devotional service unto the Lord. Material piety and sin, which arise from good and evil of this world, cannot exist within the devotee, who, being free from material hankering, maintains steady spiritual consciousness in all circumstances. Indeed, such devotees have achieved the Supreme Lord, who is beyond anything that can be achieved by material intelligence. Persons who seriously follow these methods of achieving the Lord attain freedom from illusion. And upon reaching his personal abode, they perfectly understand this absolute truth. So this is chapter 20, the end of. Basically, Bhakti Yoga is so powerful that it takes the devotee back to the Supreme Lord, which is what the devotee wants. They only want to serve the Lord. They don't want anything else. And even if he gives them something, they don't accept it. If he wants to give them something, either they don't accept it. Any questions, any comments?
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
So yes, yes.
Yeah, I found this incredible. We are the killer of the soul if we don't take up to bhakti bhav.
Yeah.
We are
Phenomenal.
killing ourselves. Oh.
Especially when the opportunity is given so nicely to us. Indeed.
Yes.
So, yeah, absolutely. Okay, Srimad, thank you for that, Karuna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Now,